the story starts in this way. Actually, it's not a story. It's a myth. But I will not tell you what myth it is. You have to guess. So the myth starts somewhere in Lydia, in this part of the world which is now Turkey. This is the nowadays name. But before, it used to be a land full of meadows and flowers, full of mountains and rivers and forests and lakes and vast skies full of stars. There, in this land, lived a girl who was curious. She was an explorer. She loved to explore. What do you think she loved to explore?
Nature.
Oh yes, she loved to explore nature. In what ways? She was curious about the miracles of nature. You know, the little things that are actually big things. Like, how do the flowers open their petals? She was curious about this. She was exploring. What else was she curious about?
Rivers.
The rivers. What was she doing with the rivers?
Bathing herself.
Oh yes, she was bathing herself in the river every day, getting herself naked into the cold water. Yeah, exploring the temperature, the sensation of the water on her skin. Yeah. Anything else? The moon? Oh yeah. She was curious about the moon. She was wondering how would her skin feel if she moonbathed. Have you ever moonbathed? Moonlight bathed? Naked? Under the moon? I'm recommending. Or dancing with your moon shadow. Also recommending. So this one was definitely curious about the moon and the rivers and the nature around. But her biggest exploration and her biggest quest was the clothes that her father was dyeing in colors. Because her father was a tradesman and he was trading clothes. And his job was to color them in different colors. And she loved to go there in the piles of the clothes and put herself in between the different colors. Yellow and red and green and brown and black and white. Her favorite was purple. And what she loved even more was to have in her hands the fine threads. Not yet clothes, just threads. And she was curious what she could do with these threads in her fingers. Not only she was playing with them, but from a very young age, she started learning how to weave, how to become a weaver. Oh, did she love that? To hold in her hands the fine thread and work it and interlace it and create garments, clothes, beautiful symbols of different colors and shapes, clothing, tapestry. She became an artist without even knowing. Her name was Arachne, and she was a weaver, a very renowned weaver. Now she is a young woman, and the whole world knows her. People are coming from very far to meet her, to see her art, to see the magnificence with which she's creating designs so delicate, so exquisite, so wonderful. Oh, but art was not only what she was creating, because people were more curious about her being an art on her own. If you could only see her fingers working delicately, swiftly, up and down, right, left, creating, as if mystery was instructing her what kind of patterns and colors and symbols to put into her tapestry. As if passion from her own heart or from her womb was flowing through her hands, into her fingers, into the threads, into the tapestry. So people were coming to her, to meet her, to see her, in jealousy almost. Can I be a little bit like her? Can I be a little bit like her? An artist like she? So refined, so passionate, so mystery, mistress, weaver, mistress of the weaving. Maybe their jaws were dropping down. Now, one day, her fame got so far that it reached Mount Olympus. And goddess Athena, who is goddess of knowledge and war and crafts meaning also weaving, heard about this woman called Arachne who was weaving so beautifully. And she was curious to see her art. So she disguised herself as an old woman and she went into her house. Of course, people were there around Arachne watching her. And so was Athena disguised as an old woman. And she saw Arachne weaving very, very finely. And she heard her saying and claiming that her gift was her own. That all the art one could see in her weaving was her own genius. Something that she cultivated with passion and dedication year after year. Oh my goddess, wasn't she, Athena, furious with this? Feeling that this Arachne woman is ignoring the power of gods, as if it was not gods who have given her the gift of weaving. Be careful, young lady, said Athena. Be careful. Be careful what you're saying. And Arachne repeated, innocently and honestly, I am. myself a genius. I have practiced this, and I think that I'm better than the gods. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Athena now was furious. She forgets her disguise as an old woman and she becomes a glorious goddess once more. In front of her, everybody is silenced. The goddess is there in the room. And she is challenging Arachne on a competition. If you think that you're better than me, says Athena, now let's compete. Challenge accepted, says Arachne. And both of them are now across each other in the same room. Of course, gathered around is a crowd. Athena is taking fine threads from the clouds and from the grasses and from the roses and the flowers, and she starts weaving. Her eyes are focused, her gaze is there at the work that she's doing, and she's working fiercely, very, very dedicatedly. Oh, Arachne, the same. She is so fierce and swift in her movements, and you could see her fingers moving up and down, right and left, creating the tapestry. After a while, they're both done. On one side, Athena's clothes, indicating the glory of the gods. Zeus, with a thunder on his arm, in his hand, Poseidon riding the waves, Aphrodite shining in beauty. It was really beautiful, glorious clothes. And on the other side, Arachne, not really caring about the glory of gods. Arachne showing in her design, in her tapestry, how gods are abusing their power. Zeus, portraying Zeus, seducing women, disguised as a horse or swan. She portrayed gods getting drunk, getting into fights, abusing their powers. Her tapestry was also gorgeous, and maybe louder than the one of Athena. So when Athena saw her work, oh, wasn't she mad? Wasn't she mad? Because this young woman spoke some kind of truth. And immediately she knew that she was better than her. But still she was the goddess, so with her stick next to her, she hit her 3 times. Hit her because she was so good. She knew she was better than her, so she hit her once, and she hit her twice, and she hit her 3 times. And then she sprinkled over her the herb of Hecate, and she cursed and blessed her at the same time. And at that moment, Arachne's body shrunk and became smaller. From her sides, 4 hairy legs appeared. No more eyes, 2, but 8. No more skin, but just hair, dark, black, gray. And yet still from her womb coming out the thread. So she cursed and blessed her to become the spider. She cursed and blessed her to become a spider. And she's a spider now who dwells in the dark places, in the wet places, maybe next to a river, when the girls pass by and they bathe themselves. Maybe under the branches of a tree. Maybe in the basement of your house. Or in the basement of your own psyche. She dwells there. In the basement of your own psyche. Do you hear me? And she lives there. And she weaves. She weaves the most ancient web of life. She is doing the most refined art, keeping company to your inner witch, waiting for you to see the art within, the genius within. Bring this forth. If only we could hear now her voice. I'm wondering how it would be. Let's experiment together. If we could only hear the spider's sound within us and let our lips open, maybe her voice would be something like this. Let me hear this. 3, 2, 1, go. Go. Louder once more. That would be her voice. And God knows what else would be her voice. And what kind of spell casting she's doing in there. If you think you're going to escape from her, you might find yourself trapped in her web. She is waiting. And she will never give up on